All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. So this video is essentially a redo of a video I did yesterday about Brett Tuggle, who passed away due to natural causes, or some people are saying it was cancer. It could be cancer. Apparently, Brett Tuggle was sick last April, according to a couple of things I read, where Lindsey Buckingham had him out on the road and then stated, basically saying to his audience that Brett Tuggle is dealing with a health problem. And look, again, this could be a privacy issue. It could be something else regarding his illness. I don't know. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't know. But what was happening a lot last April of 2021, what was occurring in our world at that point? Pretty obvious, Walgreens and CVS were quite busy during that particular month, as it was announced, I think right prior to that people could go out and do the only thing that they could do to help themselves, right? Because there was nothing else that they could do. They were waiting, just like now. The 6-month-old babies now are part of this as well. Thank goodness, right? I mean, joy to the world. I don't know, people. I'm getting pretty cynical, and I think my cynicism is now maybe tainting the way I do videos, and I apologize for that because, Brett Tuggle was this great musician. I think we should just focus on that. I mean, if you go to Wikipedia, it's not even going to mention that he died. It doesn't even say that he died. It says he was, right? Past tense. He was a musician. So yeah, that insinuates that he's no longer here. Doesn't say anything about he died of such and such, right? Now, people say, well, Dave, it's Wikipedia. Anybody can go on there. Not quite as easy as it used to be to change entries and do things that at the beginning of Wikipedia was really like the wild, wild west. Now it's kind of the controlled, somewhat tamed west. So I don't know. But again, I read the Rolling Stone article. Everybody's like, hey, go read. And it talks about the health issue that Lindsey Buckingham was talking about. Other articles say natural causes, right? Natural causes. And yes, the textbook definition of natural causes includes things like cancer. It does. A couple of people have told me, hey, my wife passed away, and they said it was a natural cause. Well, okay, I accept that there is a definition of natural causes, which includes cancer, but I don't think that's a natural cause. I mean, you can have a definition that I personally don't feel is accurate. Typically, you get the natural causes delineation when somebody is very old, and it's like multiple system failure. That's probably, all of these things just shut down. They had been around for quite a long time, this person, and, there was still probably a cause. But at that point, I think what happens is people say, well, they got a lot out of that old jalopy, that old car that they were driving in, let's not even worry about what, the thing stopped working from, let's not even talk about that because it's really not that important. I mean, the car had 400,000 miles on it, and they got enough miles on it, or out of it. So I'm using that analogy because that, to me, seemed to be the old way prior to our new normal, right? The old way of discussing natural causes. But now people are like, oh, yeah, natural cause. It was a stroke. It was a heart attack. It was cancer. Those are all natural causes. Okay, well, the problem I have, I think, with the definition itself, and you can continue to badger me and say, yeah, but that's what the definition is, Dave. And I go, okay, but all of those things most likely have a cause. They have a cause. It's not just you're driving down the road and all of a sudden the car dies. There's a reason. There's a reason for it. And I think the lack of curiosity in many of these things that we're seeing over the past 18 months or so, I think the lack of curiosity and the fact that we're not even going to put an entry in here and say what it was, right? And okay, so it is. So it is cancer, right? So just say it's cancer. I mean, this doesn't even say it's natural causes, and I'm talking about Wikipedia. So I wanted to do this follow-up video just to clarify, because a lot of people were saying to me, well, people in his inner circle, people in certain chat rooms or something, they knew that Brett Tuggle had cancer, and they just didn't really want to go totally public with it. That's him and his family. That's fine. That's fine. It's strange timing. That's all I'm going to say. It's strange timing amidst what I believe to be a global effort to omit important information from the conversation in order to preserve some type of narrative, overarching narrative, which a lot of people to this day still are buying into. In fact, again, like I said yesterday, we heard about the 6-month-old babies, right? And I'm like, this is just crazy. This is crazy. Statistically, I mean, I can't get into it, so I'm not going to go down that road. But it really makes me sad that the industry in general, right? I'm talking about the medical industry, the medical field, is far more interested in treating disease than curing disease. They're more interested in products that supposedly help you deal and cope with problems rather than dealing with the root cause of these problems. And again, look, if it was cancer, yeah, it's in the water, it's in the air, it's in the food, it's in the soil, it's everywhere. It's, even the way food is made today, sweeteners, certain sweeteners, all these things can bring any kind of cancer on. And then there is a rumor that something else might be causing cancer, the thing you can't talk about. So you can take it for what it's worth. I just find this to be another moment along this timeline where you look at someone who passed away, who is a very high caliber, quality musician, who, again, his work with David Lee Roth and with Fleetwood Mac and Lindsey Buckingham and a whole host of other people, Rick Springfield, another guy that he worked with. And Rick, of course, praised Brett Tuggle as a really excellent musician. And again, I don't know. I don't know what the answer to this problem is other than to just ignore it. I could just look at a story and go, oh no, here we go again. But they're going to think I'm a conspiracy theorist if I start talking this way. Or they're going to think, Dave, you're just making something out of nothing. And that's how I felt after yesterday. Like, okay, I do this story. It seems to lack important context. And so I'm going to try to provide some context. And at the end of it all, people are like, it's just cancer. Don't worry about it. Just cancer. And so just let it go. So I'm going to let it go. So again, thoughts and prayers obviously go out to Brett Tuggle's family and all those people he worked with. This was just a top-notch musician, and he'll definitely be missed. He could have been very important if Fleetwood Mac ever decides to get their act together and do one more tour. Unfortunately, Brett won't be there. So that's it. Done. See you soon.